guys, it's Yana. I'm back today with another video and I'm so excited and so happy that you're here today because today I'm going to be talking to you and teaching you guys about cars and roads and all the things that can happen when you're driving or in the passenger seat of a car. And I'm not talking about speed bumps and road rules or just things that can go wrong if your car breaks down. I'm talking about scary, evil, unexplainable things that have happened to people on the roads in their cars. To help you guys understand better, I obviously collected some examples that I'm going to show you. I have video evidence of creepy things that have happened on the roads. Can't wait to discuss it with you guys, but before we get started, I'm obviously taking attendance, so I want to see comments down below that you're here, you're watching, and you're paying attention. Also, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe, and let's get into the video. So as I previously mentioned, we are talking about roads and cars today, and you know what? We all take roads on a daily basis. We either take a road to go to school or get back from school, to go to our friend's house. Pretty much anywhere we go, we travel with roads. Sometimes we walk, sometimes we bike, and sometimes we take a car. Now, I personally always feel the safest in a car because I'm the only one in there. I can lock my doors, no one can open the doors from the outside. And honestly, I especially feel safe when I'm driving on empty roads because I feel like there are no other cars around me. There's nothing to worry about except just cruise and listen to music and enjoy myself. But after preparing these stories for you guys and collecting all these examples, I can't say that I feel the same anymore. Empty roads are definitely scary to me now, but what if I told you that the empty roads you're driving on might not be empty after all? Let's get into our first example. Our first story takes place on April 2021, so it is a very recent, which makes it even scarier in my opinion. And it's about a man in Australia who was driving down a highway in southwest Sydney when he saw a small child crossing the highway. Now, I'm not talking about any small highway. I'm not talking about a little side road. I'm talking about a busy, very high-speed highway in Australia. I personally would be surprised if I saw a small child alone on a sidewalk or a small street, let alone a freaking highway. I mean, that is absolutely insane and so freaking dangerous. There is absolutely no way I could ever imagine someone leaving a child on a highway or a child wandering off onto the highway. It's freaking insane. Now, obviously, after the man saw this child crossing the highway, he was really concerned. He didn't think that that was normal. He thought it was a very dangerous situation for a child to be in. The child's parents were nowhere to be found. The child was completely alone. It was just a bad situation and the guy totally picked up on it. But unfortunately, he couldn't pull over because he was actually towing another car and couldn't just pull over to the side of the highway. So he told his mother, who was in the passenger seat, to call the police. The mother called the police, and before we get further into the story that I promise takes an insane twist, let's watch the video and let's see how you guys feel about it. So what you're about to see is the dash camera footage of the driver, and you're about to see the child on the highway. So you can see this is a very busy, very big highway, and in that red circle is the child. You can tell it's a very small child, almost a toddler. Alright guys, so as you can see in this video, this child is standing on this very busy highway, very high-speed highway in the middle of one of the lanes. The child is wearing a blue matching outfit, and you can very obviously see that this is a small toddler. I mean, if I was driving by and just saw that there, I would know instantly. That is a child that is not supposed to be here. I need to get help. So, like I said before we watched the video, the mother of the driver called the police from the passenger seat of his car. She pretty much said, hey, listen, there's a freaking child in the middle of the highway. I mean, we need to do something about this. She said, can you please send a car to look for the child or remove the child or help the child out, because we couldn't. The police obviously agreed to deal with the situation because, I mean, that's their job, number one, and number two, a child on a highway is a very big deal. Now, when the driver got home about 45 minutes after the incident, he called the police back to offer them the footage from the dash camera in case they needed help on what the child was wearing or how to help him out. But the police actually told him, hey, we found the child, everything's fine, he's back home with his family, happy ending, right? Well, actually, it takes a very weird twist, and I don't know how this happened exactly, exactly, but turns out that whoever the driver spoke to was actually not telling the truth at all. Police the next day reported that they didn't actually find a child at all, and they ended up searching the entire night. They searched the whole area around the highway, the entire highway, and there was no sign of a child anywhere. And what's even more insane is later we find out no one ever reported a child going missing anywhere in that area. So that means if no child was missing, if no child was found, there was no child after all, which leaves many to believe that what we saw in this video was not a child. It was a ghost of a child, a spirit wandering the highway, just walking around. Not a real child, but an actual ghost. Now, if you want to rewind the video and go watch this again, I can kind of see what they're talking about. It's almost as if he's not there and then he kind of appears. That's theory number one. But theory number two is that there is a child missing, and that child is clearly seen on the video and he needs help, or he needs to be found, but for some reason was not yet found. I personally don't know what to believe, because if he was on such a busy highway, someone must have had to pull over or to see him, just like this guy did. And that is why, again, majority of the people believe that this is a ghost or a spirit of a little boy. You guys let me know what you think. I don't know what to believe. This is an insane story. If it is a real child, I hope they are okay and safe, and if it is not, that is absolutely terrifying, because I don't think that I've ever heard of ghosts or spirits wandering down highways. But I guess it does kind of make sense, because highways are a place where a lot of accidents do happen. It's definitely sad either way. Alright guys, the next story is absolutely terrifying to me, especially because I drive. I feel like anyone who has a car or drives is going to be terrified by this story. Pretty much, a man was driving around 12 a.m. at night, pretty late in the dark, very pitch black, just like the last video. He was just driving on a highway. It looks like a highway, but I'm not too sure. And suddenly he is stopped in the middle of the road by those construction cones that are orange and glow really bright in the night. Now, obviously, when I see those, I follow them or I stop, because they tell me that there is either construction or a road that I should be avoiding. But he notices that there are only two cones closing off the entire road, and pulled off to the side of those cones is a man and his car. This man is outside of his car. He is wearing a hoodie. He is very creepy. So the driver of the car is obviously like, this is a little sketchy. Let me try to kind of maneuver my way out of these cones, or maybe in between them. And as he goes to drive in between the cones, the actual guy who is on the side of the road steps in front of the car and does not let him pass. This is when things get really scary, and I would hate to be in this situation. Guy pulled over is not a police officer. He is not there to direct traffic. He pulled out these cones and blocked the road himself just because he wanted to. Now, we don't know his intentions, but we do know that he is very creepy. He, again, does not look like he is in any authority to be blocking off roads, and he is not allowing this car to pass by. He went up to the car, the guy rolled down his window, and then the guy on the side of the road reached for his pocket. The driver assumed that the guy was reaching for a weapon or just something that he did not want to be involved with. So he, as he should have, stepped on the gas and drove right past him. This is one of those situations where I think being mean is actually the best option. If you stand there and you talk to this guy and you listen to him, you could end up in serious danger. The driver of the car felt threatened. He felt like he could be in danger, and he stepped on that gas and he got away from what could have been a really bad scene. We don't know if the guy had a weapon. We don't know if he was endangering people. We don't even know why the road was closed off. We don't know why he did it. So it's amazing that this guy followed his instinct, stepped on the gas, and got out of there. My advice is, if this ever happens to you, do not stop on the road for anybody except for a police officer or an authority. If a random person is trying to get you to pull over, don't pull over. You could be putting yourself in an insane amount of danger that you could avoid by just thinking logically about the situation. There's absolutely no reason you should be pulling over for anyone except the law enforcement. You guys let me know what you think about this. This was really scary because this could happen to anyone, and we really don't know what the guy's intentions were, but I am assuming that they were very bad because he seemed very sketchy. He did not seem like a nice guy, okay? He didn't look like he was handing out cupcakes and cookies on the side of the road. Alright guys, and the last story and example I'm going to be talking about today is definitely the scariest of all. Like the scariest thing in this video for sure. So this specific specific story actually takes place in India. A bunch of friends were driving down a road in India. The road was very foggy, very misty, super creepy. As they were driving, they noticed a woman was standing on the road in a white nightgown. She looked completely out of place. She didn't look like she was supposed to be there. This is a very rural area, and the woman was actually holding a flashlight looking into the bushes onto the side of the road. I'm gonna play the video for you guys first, and then we're gonna talk more about why this is so creepy, so out of place, and just doesn't make any sense. So they're driving down this road. You can tell this is not a road many people walk around or drive by. So again, as you guys can see, it's a very short video, but it's insanely creepy. As I mentioned earlier, and as you guys can see by yourself, this does not look like a road where people walk. There isn't even a sidewalk for people to walk on. It is literally a road in the middle of insane woods and forest and grass. Looks extremely abandoned, extremely quiet, and it looks really cold outside. It looks foggy, it looks wet. Not a comfortable time to be outside. Now, as you saw, there was a woman holding a flashlight looking at something into the bushes. It doesn't make sense for someone to be out in a nightgown walking around outside as if nothing's happening. I mean, this was really late at night. Now, if you pay really close attention, you actually notice that that woman is not alone. She is holding a flashlight pointing into the bushes where there is someone else crouched down in there in a white gown as well. Now, actually, a lot of people, when they see this video, they can't even tell if it's a human being or some sort of weird, I don't even know what it could be, but a lot of people can't even confirm that it's a human being. We know it's something in a white outfit on the side of the road in the bushes, and she's looking at it. And even if you look at the beginning of the video while they're driving, you can see that there's someone else before they run into the woman on the side of the road in the bushes, sort of crawling. I don't really know what this could be. A lot of people say that this is a ghost, but what this is making me think is that this is a cult. Now, as most of you know, I've talked about cults on this channel before. They're absolutely the scariest thing in the world to me, because a bunch of crazy people is always worse than just one crazy person. You guys let me know what you think about this video, but personally, I feel like what they ran into was possibly a cult. Again, many people say it was a ghost, but in that case, it would have to be 3 ghosts, and the woman didn't look like a ghost. She seemed like a very normal human being. She was even holding a flashlight, and I don't even know if ghosts need flashlights. I don't know, it's definitely really weird. You let me know what you think down below. But either way, we're gonna wrap the video up now. Thank you so much for watching. Class is now dismissed. Go have fun, go enjoy yourself. Go for a drive if you want, if you're not too scared of roads now. I love you forever, and I'll see you next time. Bye.